Do you know how to apply a tourniquet? You know, applying a tourniquet is so essential when you talk about basic first aid, especially when we talk about self-defense and when you're using firearms, or if we're dealing with a knife fight or something like that. Knowing how to take care of wounds, especially when they happen in our extremities, whether it be legs or their arms, are super, super important. So everyone should have one of these at the disposal, at the very least in their car, if not in their home, and especially if you guys go out and are in certain kind of activities that guns are around, whether it be hunting or shooting on the range or things like that. When we go ahead and do that, I find so many people who, they might even have a tourniquet, but it's all wrapped up in the plastic just like they got it when they purchased it. I want you guys to right now, if you have one, take it out of the plastic and get used to not only looking at it, using it, and also practicing with it, but I want to make sure that you're very, very comfortable with this. When we set it up, you're going to find out that it's very much just like a belt, just like this. And when we do that, we're going to put it through the first notch just like this. So now it's ready to go. So if we have to use it, we take it out of our pocket, take it out of our first aid kit, slide it on whatever kind of extremity is injured, and we can apply it immediately. If this is not in the slot right there, and all of a sudden we have adrenaline dumping, God forbid something to us happened, we're dealing and putting it on ourselves, but even somebody else, the adrenaline's going, trying to put this little kind of a flap in the little hole right here is gonna be much more difficult than you guys can assume. So when you guys take this out and practice with it, leave it in this position right here where it's already weaved through the first slot. And you can go ahead and put it right around there, and then from there, go ahead and pack it back in your first aid kit. But I also want you guys to be able to practice with it. And whether you're doing it on your leg or your arm, I wanna make sure you're able to do it with both. Not only on your own person, but also on someone else as well. So when we apply a tourniquet, you're gonna find out that this is the first part that I want you to take care of. The second part that I want you to take care of is usually they have a flap that goes right over the twisting stick right here, all right? And what I want you to do is make room and that can be released immediately just like this. If it's over it, it's just one more thing that we have to do to release it and then grab the stick. I want you to be able to use and start twisting the stick immediately. So when we go ahead and do this, this is how it should be packed, whether it be in our backpack, in our first aid kit, in our car, whatever it is. And then from right here, we're ready to rock and roll with it. When we practice it, you're gonna do exactly what I'm doing here right now. You simply take it out, you put it around one of our limbs. I'm gonna use my arm right here, and we immediately make it as tight as possible. Once we make it as tight as possible, put it around, and now it's secure. Once it's secure like this, I don't have to take off this tab because it's something I already did when I got it ready. You wanna take this stick and you wanna start twisting it. Now when we start twisting it, what is it gonna do? Well, the main reason we wanna use this tourniquet is that if I have a wound, let's say on my arm, whether it be from a knife or maybe an accident, maybe a gunshot of some sort, I wanna stop that bleeding. And how we stop that bleeding is we cut it off at the source. I don't want to apply the tourniquet. Let's say that I had a knife wound somewhere around my wrist right here. I don't want to put it down low. I want to put it up as high as possible. Why do we do that? Well, because there could be some other kinds of abrasions or cuts, maybe injuries farther up the arm, especially if I'm wearing a shirt that I just didn't know about. So we want to go as high as possible up the arm just like this. Once we went ahead and secured that, so we want to go ahead and start twisting it just like this. As we start twisting it, then you're going to put this right around the latch right here. It's just not secure until we put that final tab right over there. Now I have cut off the circulation going back and forth up my arm, which is going to cut off the bleeding right here. Once we go ahead and do that, then we can go ahead and tend to another injury, help someone else, whatever it may be. But the most important thing is that we cut off that bleeding and we cut off losing blood. We can't lose as much blood as you may think, okay, all right? When we make sure we do this, we wanna make sure that we cut that off so we secure and save as much blood as possible within our system right here. And that's how you apply a tourniquet.